Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. Today's video is amazing. I have 40 cards to show you that use the Abstract Impressions bundle from the latest Stampin' Up! Annual catalog that came out in June. I've been saving up cards for a couple of months now, and so I'm ready to do my video. And like I said, I've got 40 cards to show you. But first of all, the bundle. The bundle comes with the Abstract Impressions stamp set, along with the Springtime Impressions Thinlits dies. And the die set is a set of 3. It does cut this really gorgeous corner floral image. You do also have a small flower, and then we have this really awesome, large, big wings butterfly, which I just really love. Now, this set of dies, you can cut this thing apart and make different things with it. So I have one card I'm going to show you right away where I die cut the piece, and then you can see where you can kind of cut off right here, and you can cut off right down here, and then you're left with this image right here. This is the extra little flower, but you're left with that. So you can cut this up and do some different fun things with it. So this is one of the cards that we have. And again, the bundle is amazing, and it's so much fun. Then we also have the Garden Impressions Designer Series paper that goes along with the bundle, but it's not included in the bundle. And this is a set of 48 6x6 papers. And look at these fun, bright, amazing spring and summer florals. These are just gorgeous. Anybody would love to get a card made with these. And then when you flip it over, it's just some kind of abstract patterns on the back that you can use with lots of other different stamp sets, not just this one. I do have an online class using these items, and I do have it for sale on my blog at barbstamps.com. The class itself includes 8 cards plus 1 bonus card, so there's 9 cards total in the class. Each card has a video with it, as well as a PDF file with directions for each of the cards. Now, the cost of the class is $20, and the cards that are in the class I will not show anywhere. You will not see them in this video. You will not see them on my blog. You won't see them anywhere, as they are exclusive to the class. So the online class, which is just the emailed information, the videos, links, and the file, $20. I do have a bundle of products you can purchase on my blog. You would email me to purchase those. I would send you a PayPal invoice. You'd pay the invoice. You'd tell me where you want me to ship your items. I'd ship them to you, and then your class is free. So, and I do have a couple of other classes. I do have one for the Varied Bases bundle, and I am working on one that will be released later this month, which is August of 2018, for the Sea of Textures bundle. So let's get into our 40 cards. All right, we started with this one where I showed you how you can trim off this main side image here. I did go ahead and use the small flower too, and I'm sure you can see this. There is glitter in the center of these little flowers. And how I did that was I put a mini Stampin' Dimensional. These dimensionals are tiny. They're just these little guys. I stuck them behind all these flowers, and then I pressed them into our Dazzling Diamonds glitter, and that is how you get this amazing glitter in between or in those flower centers. So that is really fun. So I did use a piece of the Designer Series paper along with our Shaded Spruce and Blueberry Bushel, which are new colors to our catalog this year, and then I did a bit of white embossing on my banner strip. So fun card. This next one is one that I made on one of my Facebook live shows, which you can see at facebook.com/stampinismyjob. And this one is like a removable bookmark card. There's just a tiny bit of adhesive on the back, a little bit of washi tape that you can use to stick that in there. And then when the person receives it, they can pull that out, take the washi tape off, and they can have a fun bookmark, which I thought was a lot of fun. So I did use the Shaded Spruce and the Bermuda Bay, along with the polka dot folder to make my little band here to hide my bookmark and some of our yummy shimmer black ribbon. Moving on to this fun bright card. This one uses Mango Melody, which is another fun addition to our color line, this catalog. And I did stamp the flowers with some Old Olive, Mango Melody, and some Pool Party. I did tie some of our Twill crumb cake ribbon around there, polka dot folder again, and then the crumb cake background or base. And this is one of those cards that's a 4 1/4 by 11. So it's kind of the hot dog style of card, the long skinny, rather than the hamburger, which is the shorter, fatter version. Here's another super bright card that I just love. This uses our Pineapple Punch, which is one of our new in colors this year, with the Blueberry Bushel, which is also an in color. Got this wonderful greeting here at the bottom, and then the subtle textured impressions embossing folder was used to create the really fun, and I hope you can see the texture on this. It's just some light texture. It almost looks like we used to sell textured cardstock in our old catalogs, and that's what it looks like. So you can put it on any color cardstock you want. Another one that uses the amazing Mango Melody. A lot of the roses were just stamped in a kind of a diagonal pattern, and then this little piece here is some of our layering squares framelets. Some more of some fun colors here are Granny Apple Green and Melon Mambo, and then a few of our iridescent metallic sequins, or iridescent sequins, not metallic, just iridescent, and then a little strip of our 1/8" white ribbon. Here's one I did using our note cards and envelopes, so we can have our little matching envelope there. I did a set of these for my mom. As some of you know, she's been ill, in and out of some rehab facilities with some broken bones, and she likes to thank the staff members where she is, so she buys them candy and wanted to give them some thank you cards. So anyway, this is a set that I made for her, super simple. Uses our note cards and envelopes, just really super simple stamping here with the Old Olive and the Daffodil Delight, a little bit of Blueberry Bushel and some Balmy Blue, and then the Sentiment in Black. So I just cranked out a bunch of these. Actually, driving in the car up there to visit her was how I made those cards. Moving on to our next card, this one uses the Tufted embossing folder, which is new to our catalog this year also, and some of this Poppy Parade striped ribbon, which is super fun. The Layering Circles framelets is where we get the scallop, and then the Stitched Shapes framelets is where the circle comes from. So we've got some Flirty Flamingo and some Poppy Parade for the flowers here, and then our Coastal Cabana and the Shaded Spruce for the stems and leaves. And then just a fun banner with thank you and layered on both of the colors. I just love this. This is really bright and fun. Here's one where you could cut your designer series paper to 4 by 5 1/4, slice it on the diagonal, and then you'd have 2 pieces where you could make 2 cards, which is a lot of fun. A little sentiment here with a banner, more layering circles framelets, and then on the inside we do have a few pieces of the designer series paper. You can write your message in there. It just gives a little pop of fun to the inside of the card. And then we've got this one here where we've got a piece of the designer series paper and then a piece of Whisper White on the top of a Whisper White card base. The flowers were stamped in Petal Pink and Calypso Coral with a little bit of Shaded Spruce for the leaves here. Then we've got some rhinestones and then that gorgeous die cut butterfly. Moving on to this one, look at this color combination. Isn't this amazing? Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana mixed with some Blueberry Bushel. I love this. And then you can see there's a little bit of ink splatter there, and you can do that by taking your markers, finding the brush end, and then you take your marker and you stick it in the cap and you flick it out. And then when you flick it out, you just get these little kind of speckles of color all over. And so we've got some speckles of color here. And then these Daffodil Delight dots are actually probably one of our background stamps in one of our sets. And we've got some fun pearls here along with our Pear Pizzazz shimmer ribbon. And I just think this is a really fun card also. Here's one I received for my birthday. Thank you, Christine. And this one uses our striped folder. I can't remember exact name, but it's something with stripes. Some of the In Color Designer Series paper here with the coordinating butterfly. So this is the Blueberry Bushel and Whisper White, along with some fun pearl accents there. Moving on to this card, we've got some of that Designer Series paper, which is so pretty. And then the colors were taken from the paper. So we've got the Blushing Bride here, the So Saffron Shaded Spruce, a few rhinestones there for the butterfly middle, and then we've got this kind of a softly falling folder where it's kind of dense up here and a little bit less dense down here, so that's kind of fun. Here's a wonderful color combination. This is Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and White, along with some gray granite accents in there. A fun little thank you image where the image was actually, well, let me pull my stamp set out here. So the thank was imaged, or the thank was inked, and then the U was inked. So they masked it and put it on that little circle die cut there, and then just added some rhinestones. So that's kind of a fun color combination. And then we also have that repeating on the inside of the card. Another one where we've pulled the colors from the Designer Series paper. We've got the Melon Mambo, the Blueberry Bushel, and the So Saffron. A layering circles, a stitched circle, and then 3 of those fun little flower die cuts with some rhinestones. This one is really pretty. I love the gold accents on this. The butterfly die cut out of gold with some of our gold metallic thread around the back. Skinny piece of our Calypso Coral 1/8 inch ribbon here with the Calypso Coral main card layer. Designer Series paper. Got some Mango Melody here in the back, and then the greeting also stamped in the mango. A fun purple card. Look at this Highland Heather card base, gorgeous grape layer, watercolor paper, some more marker flicking there, the greeting, and I believe this was done by getting the paper wet, stamping the image, and then having it bleed out. I'm not exactly sure, but it kind of looks like that. I may have to check into that and see what we can come up with. And then some more of that striped ribbon, this one in the gorgeous grape. Here's one with the die cut that was actually like if you take some sponge daubers after you cut it out and you can sponge some ink on the leaves. We've got some old olive there, Calypso Coral, the So Saffron, and then the Coastal Cabana. And then the little pearls were colored with our Stampin' Blends markers. You can make those things any color you want. And then the simple greeting at the top. Another super pretty one with this amazing butterfly die cut, this time out of our, is this champagne or... This is the champagne foil paper, and then some of our artisan pearls that are already colored for you, some of the copper thread, the greeting on the Designer Series paper, and then the flower images stamped in petal pink. Another card using some petal pink, which goes great with Calypso Coral. Throw in some crumb cake. You've got a perfect color combination. Got a few goodies up here. We've got some of our faceted dots, some of our faceted gems, a pearl, and then a couple, all the die cuts in the colors, some linen thread, oval cutouts, just a super fun card that's just amazing. Moving on to this one, Designer Series paper again, dictated our color combination. So we've got some mint macaron, Calypso Coral, and Melon Mambo. Then we've got this fun petal pink ribbon. This comes as a 2-pack with the petal pink and the shaded spruce color ribbons. Then we've got some more just random adhesive dots that we have, the faceted gems, the little faceted dots, and then our glimmer dots there too. Ovals again, and then the simple stamping on the oval there. More with the Designer Series paper, a couple different patterns here paired together, and here's the sister to that ribbon I talked about in this card. So it's a 2-pack, it's got the petal pink and the shaded spruce, and there's a lot of layering here with these fun squares. We've got more Designer Series paper, we've got some Wink of Stella splattered on this, which looks really pretty. You can kind of catch that shimmer hopefully in the light, and just a really fun card with a lot of squares on it. This one here, we've got some strips of the Designer Series paper, butterfly done in the Calypso Coral, and we've got one of those fun tailored tag accents in the back, simple greeting down here on the bottom, and then some artisan pearls for the butterfly's body. Here's another fun one with Mango Melody, and this one also has the Granny Apple Green, a little bit of petal pink, and some Melon Mambo. The greeting stamped up here, a little bit of white baker's twine, and that's just a really fun bright card that anyone would love to get. And you could change that to say happy birthday, thinking of you, whatever sentiment you may want it to be. This next one again uses just a portion of that die cut, so you can just cut that and use it in different ways. We've got the circle here with the sentiment and the artisan pearls, a little bit of a cockeyed square there, just kind of gives it a different look, a little bit of fun, and the fun Designer Series paper. Another one that uses that subtle embossing folder here on the back. I just love that. 2 patterns of the Designer Series paper, die cut out of shaded spruce, a lot of rhinestones for the butterfly body, so pretty. And then we've got this little guy here that I'm not exactly sure where that came from. Hold on. I don't know where this banner image came from. However, the greeting came from the Itty Bitty Greeting Stamp set, which is a great set to get if you don't have it. It's got 32 small greetings. Most of them fit in our classic label punch right here, so that's a lot of fun. And again, just some fun little circle. We have some scallop circles and some regular circle punches. This is a super pretty card. This one uses our scoring board to get these spaced lines that are a 1/4 inch apart. I think you can see that. Some of the designer series paper, a strip of mint macaron cardstock that was run through with the subtle embossing folder. And then we've got some of these self-adhesive sequins in the basics. Love the color combination here, Flirty Flamingo and Petal Pink, adding in the mint macaron and then a little bit of gray granite on the greeting there. These next few cards use the large die as an embossing piece. And now you can do that by, I have my little directions right here on my thing. So you take the large die here and you put your Big Shot platform down, then a cutting pad. Then you put the die blades up. Then you're going to put your cardstock piece. We've got a set of 3 embossing mats. So we've got the hard plate, the thick gray mat, and then the thin blue mat. So then you've got your die up, your cardstock, your thin blue mat, and then the white embossing pad. And you're going to run that through the Big Shot. And when you do, you're just going to get an embossed image, not a cut image. And so here you can see that the image has been embossed. So cool. We've got that wonderful metallic edged ribbon up here, and then the die cut butterfly in vellum and a calypso coral. So this is from my friend Kay for my birthday. Thank you, Kay. Here's another card that uses that same technique, although you can tell this is a little bit deeper impression. This one actually used the gray pad rather than the blue pad. Again, the butterfly die cut out of some designer series paper. Designer series paper down here, which dictated the color combination on the card. We've got the petal pink, some saffron, and some shaded spruce. Here's that with love and sympathy sentiment again from the itty bitty greetings. And then I think I talked about the ribbon already. Here's another one. Again, a super deep impression. So the gray embossing pad was used on this one. We've got the images stamped up here in Old Olive, and I believe this is Blushing Bride. And then we've got some of that fun petal pink ribbon that we talked about earlier that comes in a 2-pack with the shaded spruce. And that is just a super fun card. And we've got some of that very vanilla cardstock on the inside so you can write a message. Here's one that I did for a class. This one I did use the blue mat, so the impression is not quite so deep. And then we've got some of the layering squares here, a few of our fun iridescent sequins, and I did do a little bit of corner rounding up there. With our detailed trio corner punch, we've got that fun corner rounder there, and that's how I did get that one done. And I just thought the black with the Coastal Cabana and white was pretty. Another one where the impression is very, very deep. So this was where the gray pad was used, and this color combination is gorgeous. This is Blackberry Bliss, Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, Flirty Flamingo, and Melon Mambo with some Old Olive leaves. And it is just so striking. And then we've got some of that Gorgeous Grape striped ribbon here. Absolutely gorgeous card. This next one uses our hardwood embossing folder. We've got the Starburst Punch. We've got Granny Apple Green, Highland Heather, and Gorgeous Grape colors. And it's just really fun. I just love these, our new colors. They're all so fun. Here is another super simple card that you could create. This is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of white cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, excuse me. An envelope with a little bit of detail. The stamping done with Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. And so simple, and it was done in about a minute, less than a minute. The next cards are some fancy folds. So here is like a Z fold. So all you do is you have your standard card base. You score it down the middle at 2 1/8 on the one panel, fold it back, and there you have a fun card. And we've got some of the designer series paper, lots of fun rhinestones. And then we've got, I think this is Blushing Bride, Melon Mambo, Soft Seafoam, and the Shaded Spruce. Now here's a card. I did this one, and I did it 2 different ways, where I've got a little bit of a skinny area here, a little wider. This one has a piece of ribbon on it. This one doesn't. But basically they're the same. So I've got a card base. I did take 2 pieces of copy paper, put them around the center like this, did my stamping straight down, then added the 2 side panels with a little bit of the Gorgeous Grape sticking out, added my sentiment butterfly, and then the little piece of ribbon. Here's a card that is very similar to the one I just showed you. However, check this out. So this one, they actually trimmed the flowers out of the designer series paper, used our one of our petal punches that we have in the catalog to get the leaves, and then we've got the 2 side pieces with some Melon Mambo, and then when you open that up, you've got that fun piece of designer series paper still showing in the center, and then a little stamped flower right there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Here's a very different kind of a card. This is just So I think this is like a 6x6 folded in half, so it's a 3x6. We've got the butterfly and lovely lipstick with some copper paper behind it, a little bow with lovely lipstick. That's hard to say 6 times fast. Some of the designer series paper, the in color, and then one of our fun little banners there. Another card that I made, and it's actually, I have a video on it, and I'll link it up here for you. This one is just a little bit different, where it was a standard fold card, and then I just trimmed off the edge. Did my stamping there, added a piece of soft seafoam with a light bit of stamping, a little fun flower from the die set, some rhinestones, and I just thought that was kind of fun, and a matching envelope to go with it. This next card is one of those fun folds where you just have a little flap here. And so the butterfly was die cut out of the designer series paper. You can see the pattern there. This little strip here is about maybe 2.5 inches wide, glued onto the front of the card, where we have some embossing here with one of our, I think it's Lovely Leaves embossing folder, and then a couple of our artisan pearls for the butterfly's body. And last but not least, guys, is this card. This is card number 40. And this just kind of has like a, like a belt buckle or something over the front of that. So it's just kind of an interesting fold. Then you just take the piece and you glue it to the back. Have some of these super glittery glitter enamel shapes that we're having now in the catalog. Again, with some different colors, and this fun designer series paper and the Melon Mambo card base. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that I do have my online class. It's on my blog. Check that out at barbstamps.com. And then I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.